Uh-oh, I'm a minute late. Can y'all hear me? No? Maybe? Hello, hello. Hey, y'all hear me? Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. I was looking at the little microphone meter down there at the bottom, and it's not moving. So I was like, uh-oh. Maybe that's got something to do with my regular settings. Hey, Don Marie and Don Sloat, hello, and CC Angel and Dreamer. Oh, we got a little crowd showing up already. Okay, awesome, awesome. Like I said, at the bottom of the screen, there's like a little microphone meter and it's not moving beyond the first little dot. So that's why I was wondering if it was working or not. They're having a big sale at Captured by Ratings. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to miss out on the big sale because my paycheck is already gone because I had bills to pay and food to buy and other things that weren't diamond paintings. So, what kind of big sale are they having? Somebody got to fill me in. I haven't been keeping up. $50% off on. Oh, okay. Maybe I have to go check it out. I mean, I've got a little bit I can spend, but not much. Maybe I can go see because I need to get a holiday themed diamond painting because I don't have anything holiday themed to work on this year for the premieres. So I've got to get something holiday themed. About the only thing I have that's holiday themed but I don't even have the materials for it is the uh, one of the Christmas cross stitches, but I don't have the materials for that. So yeah. How long is this? How long is this sale going on for? Man, my camera is all messed up because Hank knocked it over before I started my live. And get to see my messy desk over there. Gonna drive me nuts. I need to get a better setup going here with the cameras and stuff. There. Okay. Good enough. Oh, excuse me. Until supplies last. She needs to get rid of old stock. But let me go take a look while we're here on the live. I can't do it. I can't do it because I'm not running StreamYard tonight, so I'm going to have to put y'all in the background for a minute. And let's see, what's it called? Captured by. I have never tried anything from there, so. I don't think I have any of their diamond paintings ever. Let's see, what's on sale? Wow, that is cheap. But I don't see anything. Is everything on? No, not everything. It's only the stuff that's what's on sale stuff, and I don't. None of that really appeals to me. No, nope. Okay. Yeah. Well, there's not really anything there that's appealing to me anyway. So, um, you know, it's tough being a guy that diamond paints because most major suppliers kind of appeal more towards the majority target audience, which the majority demographic for diamond painting is women. So it's tough for guys to actually find a lot of things that really appeal to us unless we go through like AliExpress and just dig through their piles and piles and piles of stuff to look for. I mean, every now and then DAC puts out one that I like. I like TSAs. I love oh, I can't remember his name now. The guy with the black light silhouettes. That him. John Poppleton. I love his stuff. Um, but yeah, it's just it's really hard to find stuff for guys. Hey, odd but nice. Hello, hello. So, yeah, it's been an interesting week. Just got cold here for a little short spell. It was it actually got down to freezing a couple of nights. I had to go out and I had to drain the water out of my big water tank in the truck, and I had to bring all of my sprayers in that are like my big B&G sprayer, which is the big metal can with the pump on the top that you always see the exterminator with. I got one of those, but all I use that for is the storage. I mix up a gallon of the spray that we use on the inside because when we go inside, we have like a swap bag that goes over our shoulder. It's kind of like a satchel with multiple pockets, and it's got this little 16-ounce sprayer that's like that big around and 16 ounces. It's probably about the size of my cup here, and we use that for the inside. So I mix up a gallon of this stuff, and then I just keep refilling my small sprayer with the big B&G because nobody wants to carry that big gallon canister around all the time. So I had to go bring that in. I had to bring in my 4-gallon backpack sprayer, and I had to bring in the little satchel with the extra little small sprayer in it because we don't want that stuff freezing because it can mess our sprayers up big time. I'm getting an advent painting from the one with the diamond art for the holidays. That should be fun. The one with the diamond art for the holidays. That probably is an awful lot of sites there, CC Angel. Because right now, a lot of them are pulling out their diamond art for the holidays. All right, another satisfied Nana's Crafty Gems customer. Woohoo! The site is the one with the diamond art. That's a lot of sites that we go to. Are you talking about Diamond Art Club? I haven't even looked at Diamond Art Club in forever. I just can't afford it lately, so I mean, I just hasn't been a need to look for it. Oh, the company is called The One with the Diamond Art. Hello, Jennifer Bruce. Let me go check that out. I have never heard of that. The One with the Diamond Art. Think. Wow. I didn't even know there was a company called that. That's interesting. We got new arrivals. Oh, that's a nice one. Mr. Greg's gas station. I like that one. You see, those are kind of nice, but they're just way too pink. The peachy Christmas and the shabby chic Christmas. No, it's way too pink. The cat who stole Christmas is kind of cute. I like that one. Oh, that Jasmine Beckett Griffith, Spiders and Skulls is nice. I like that one. Yeah, yeah, I don't see. Let's see. Themes. I see there's another one. That pink and pastel colored Christmas. This does not do it for me. Oh, now the Santa with the light up gifts is cute. And the curvy Christmas coziness I really like. I think that would look good hanging on the wall somewhere. Oh, the Krampus. Okay, that's the one I need to get. And then they got all the Christmas dogs. They ought to do Christmas cats, just like those Christmas dogs. Christmas cats need to be represented as well. Oh, wow, they got the whole set there. Of all of the curvy girl. Now that's cute. That's like a little mini Aria, the Meowie Christmas one by Finera. That's cute. Okay. I know a new site now. Thank you for telling me about that site. I did not know that existed. And y'all know I'm still an affiliate for Treasure Studios Arts, and the link should be down in my description box below. So, if you use my code and my link, use my link and use my code, and you'll get a percent off your order, and I get a little bit of credit for that, and you get a little kickback from it too. So yeah, go take a look at TSA. I need to go look through there again. I haven't looked through there in a while either. I know right now I definitely can't afford them, but doesn't hurt to know what's going on. We'll see if they got any new John Poppleton stuff that I haven't seen before. I have a John Poppleton paint by number here. And I got it because she was supposed to be re-releasing paint by numbers, and she had these really nice deluxe paint by number kits, and they were really nice. And they got sent to us. We picked the ones we wanted, and they got sent to us. But then, just as we got them, she said, "Hold up, don't record your videos yet, because we might be going with a different supplier." And so I've still got it in the closet, never recorded. I've opened it and looked at it, but I've never recorded the video. And I think the paints are starting to dry up in it because it's been sitting for like a year and a half now. But I have figured out how to bring the paints back to life after they're dead. I did it for a couple of my other ones, and it works out really well, and the paint works just fine. So you can bring dead paint by number paint back to life, even if it's dried up hard in there. It's really easy. It takes a while. It's not something you're going to do right away. It takes a while, but it does work. Hi, April. Yep, Dave's not here. See, I've had Paul here pretty much all week. This week was the LSU game here at Bryant Denny, which Alabama come out and looked like Alabama finally this season. I think what's happened is they had so many changes in the offseason. Um, we lost Bryce Young to the draft, and we lost Will Anderson to the draft, and they were like two of our key playmakers. And they went to the draft into the NFL, and it left us with a bunch of like younger underclassmen that just didn't have a lot of experience. Well, then at the same time, they got rid of um, the old offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. So we replaced both of them, and those are the guys that actually are calling the plays to the quarterback, telling the quarterback what plays to run. So I think what it was is it was a young, inexperienced team that had been run by the same coaching staff, and now they've got an all new coaching staff and a new quarterback. And in the beginning of the season, we didn't even have a clear cut starting quarterback. We had a competition between three guys, and that went on for the first few weeks. And so what I think happened was they just didn't develop a playbook for the beginning of the season because they didn't know who the starting quarterback was going to be. And once they got that figured out, they started looking a little bit better. And I think it's gotten a little better each week. And I think finally they're where they need to be to finish out this season and go on and win the national championship this year. Well, that's not excuses. I mean, every team goes through that, Domri. You know that. And you get new coaches in, and when your offensive coordinator has been used to running these kind of plays all the time and the team has gotten used to it, you got to basically retrain the team to a whole new playbook. And that takes time to learn. And then on top of that, when you've got a competition for starting quarterback, you don't really know who to design the playbook around. But it's all right, Domri. We got you all in, 3 weeks from now? Roll Tide. We got y'all in 3 weeks from now, and y'all ain't looking too hot this year. But some of the biggest upsets have happened playing y'all down there when you've had a horrible team all season and we've been dominant all season, and we come down there and we lose and nobody can figure out why. I think your stadium is cursed. Oh, I don't know. I haven't been. I've been hearing people say y'all weren't doing so hot this year. You know what? I'm done with that color. There we go. I don't think I have any of that color. Nope, I do not. I got crud in here. Excuse me. And Dreamer, I love football. I've been watching just college this year. I have not been paying much attention to the NFL, but I do know I've been paying attention to the records, and I know my Ravens are on top of the AFC, so that's all I care about. I haven't got to watch a Ravens game all year yet. Oh yeah, well, yeah, and it's the way it should be. You can't just be a fair weather fan. I mean, what's the point in that? I know plenty of people that are like that. They will switch their loyalty from one team to the other based upon who's winning the most. But right now, Michigan ain't gaining no fans. All right, April, have a good night. But yeah, it's been an interesting week at work. I've just kind of did my job. I got my route done, completely done. Only had 3 skips, which is very acceptable, especially since 2 of them were balanced and I wasn't allowed to do them. So they don't really count those against me because those are, you know, the customer ain't paid, so we ain't going out and spray their house no more. Um, and one of them was a customer request to skip. Boss did get on my butt Friday though, by text message. No, it's Thursday. Thursday by text message. Chewed my butt by text message because I wasn't scheduled 3 days out yet. We've talked about this, and I've told you you need to get in compliance with company policy, or I'm going to be forced to start the write up process. Well, you know what? Go ahead and start up the write up process. I kind of almost said that, but I was in just that kind of mood on Thursday when he said that. So, but no, I need my job. I do very good. I get my route done. I mean, just because I'm not scheduled 3 days in advance every day, I still get my job done, and he knows it. I know it's company policy and all that stuff, but I mean, why does it matter as long as I'm getting my job done? Yes, I am a rebel. I always pick weird hills to die on too. And speaking of dying, y'all, there's a salesman at our company. He went out in his first week or so with us. They sent him out with me to see what the pest control side does, so that when he goes out to sell service, he'll have an idea of what we do. And just happened to be that day I had a stop at this one guy's house, and is he was a coach at one of the local high schools, football coach, I guess, and I think baseball. And the sales guy I was with had known him for like 25 years. So I mean, they were kind of really good friends. And so when I was spraying the house, they sat and talked and everything. Well, I have that guy every month, and I knew he had cancer. And I saw him 2 weeks ago. I did service on him 2 weeks ago, and I was actually going to call on Friday to get him scheduled for this month's, and I didn't get around to it. And the salesman called me at the end of, close to the end of the day on Friday, and he said, "Hey man," he says, "Hey, you know that guy's house we went to where I sat and talked to him?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, coach." He's like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, he passed away last night." I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!" So I had one of my customers pass away, and it was actually one of my ones I really liked visiting with. It's kind of a bummer. So y'all keep him in your thoughts, prayers. Keep his family anyway. Um, he was really just a down to earth, really nice guy, and just as friendly as could be. And he was just fine 2 weeks ago. I mean, he had cancer. I knew that, but he didn't seem to be on a decline or anything. And we stood there and talked for about 15, 20 minutes after I finished his service. And here we are 2 weeks later, and he passed away. But see, I'm going to say I kind of expect it with a lot of my customers, because for whatever reason, my route is mostly people in like their late 70s and 80s. And most of them aren't doing really good. Um, this guy wasn't that old. He was in his 60s. Um, I would think. I think he's probably in his mid to late 60s. Um, but yeah, most of my customers are, some of them are bedridden, um, or just in really bad health. Yeah, I didn't realize how, yeah, I'm not going to say attached, but how bonded I am with some of these customers. I didn't, some of them treat me just like I'm part of their family when I go there. I mean, they've got Gatorades waiting for me, snacks. I've got one customer. She's a hoarder. She's definitely a hoarder, but she hoards food, and particularly like snack foods, like protein bars and Cliff bars and Snickers bars, uh, Rice Krispies treats. And so every time I go to her house, she makes me up a little gift bag of snacks to take with me. uh, I mean, there's just so many of them. I had a customer week before last, Friday before last, gave me a giant 3-pound bag of jalapenos, straight out of the garden. he went out and picked them while I was spraying his house and had them ready for me when I got done, and he handed them to me. It's about 3 pounds of jalapenos. And he threw in 3 tomatoes right off the vine in there with me and 3 nice eggplants. And I did some fried eggplant uh, the next day, like Saturday, last Saturday. And that was really good. And I had those jalapenos in there and I couldn't figure out what in the world to do with them. So I kind of started looking around for things to do, and I found a recipe. Never, ever in my life have I attempted to can anything. But I canned up 2 big jars of cowboy candy. I just got to wait 2 weeks now to open it because you got to let it sit for 2 weeks in there so that the sugary candied part actually candies the jalapenos. So I've got to wait to open it, and I don't want to wait because the juice tasted so good that when I was making it, you could smell it. It smelled so good. Love a roasted jalapeno, cream cheese, cheddar cheese on toasted bread. Ooh, that sounds good. Well, see, Jennifer, I don't know if you were here last week. We were talking about, maybe it was the week before, we were talking about peanut butter and jalapeno jelly sandwiches. And a lot of people go, ew, no, don't knock it till you try it. Oh, it is the perfect mix of salty, sweet, and it's a little kick of spice. Like the sugar in the jelly takes the heat out a lot. So it's only about as hot as those like little cinnamon red hot you get at Valentine's Day. So it's not super hot, but it's just got that little kick on top of the sweet and salty, and it is so good. I would definitely urge everybody to try it. I know Dawn Marie learned. She went and picked some up, and she offered it to me if she didn't like it. She said, "He wanted it if I don't like it." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take it." Jar of jalapeno jelly. And later that day, she goes, "You're not getting this jalapeno jelly." But that's what I'm thinking with these here, that the sugar content, it's because when you make candied jalapenos, you use 2 cups of cider vinegar and 6 cups of sugar, and a little bit of turmeric and garlic powder. And I don't think you put any salt in it. Maybe. No, I didn't put any. Did I put salt in it? I can't remember. But yeah, that's about it. And then you just kind of you keep boiling it. Well, you boil the mixture to turn it to kind of a liquid, get it to a good rolling boil, and then let it simmer for a little bit. Then you dump the sliced jalapenos in, and then you bring it back up to a rolling boil, and you let it boil for like 7 minutes. And then you take the jalapenos out and you put them in the jars, and then you got to reheat the sugar syrup mixture again, and just kind of top off the top of the jars with the liquid to fill in all the air pockets before you seal the jars. So that's a lot of sugar for those jalapenos. So it's probably going to knock the heat down quite a bit, but I'm willing to bet that taste is going to be amazing. And the leftover juice I've got is actually will work really well as like a glaze for like pork chops or something like that. I'm going to try that. I've got some pork chops I'm going to put out on the grill, and I'm going to use that glaze, the leftover glaze from the canning. Look at my phone, Dave. Okay, I will look at my phone. I see my phone. What am I looking for? Which phone am I looking for? Not that one. What? I don't see anything on my phone. What am I looking for? I don't see anything, Domri. A message. Oh, okay. I don't see a message. You sure you got the right number? Yeah, Jennifer Bruce, 6 cups of sugar. Because it's candied jalapenos, so you're making cowboy candy. Oh, there it is. I see it now. Uh-oh. Hmm. Yeah, that is a problem. You have to go get some more. I think Bucky sells it too. Try there. Yeah, so yeah, Jennifer, it's like 6 cups of sugar, um, and a half a teaspoon of turmeric. Oh, you use a little bit of cayenne pepper too. Yeah, it's like a half a teaspoon of cayenne powder. Um, that's the other ingredient I was trying to figure out. Yeah, but 6 cups of sugar, 2 cups of apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of turmeric and a little bit dash of cayenne. Yep, you mix that all up and let it come to a good boil. That stuff gets so hot you don't want to splash it on yourself. I tell you that. Boiling sugar is like lava. It's like the closest you're going to get to napalm. I got some on my finger right there, just a little drop of it, kind of bloop right out of the pot, and I'm like, whoo. Oh, that's where you got it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to make jelly yet. I'm just learning canning. I had never canned anything in my life until I canned those jalapenos. So I'm going to, with those super hot peppers I'm growing, I'm going to make hot sauce. I found a YouTuber, well, the same one that gave me the cowboy candy recipe. He makes a lot of his own fermented hot sauces, fermented pepper hot sauces, and he uses super hots for it. So I think that's what I'm going to do for those really super hot peppers. Yeah, boiling sugar ain't nothing to mess with. It's lava. I didn't. I forgot that I had done it, and last night I was cooking, and I was every time I got near the heat, it started hurting really bad, and I was like, "Oh, that's right, I burnt it on that damn sugar the other night." But I rearranged my kitchen this weekend. I went through and deep cleaned the entire kitchen, did all the dishes, every dish I could possibly find in the house. I did all the dishes. The kitchen got rearranged. I have so much more counter space now. And I'm that's like when I'm if I was going to go buy a house, that's going to be one of the number one things I'm going to look for in that house is counter space in the kitchen. It's like you can never get enough counter space in the kitchen. When I was living in Tennessee before my ex-wife and I split, we were buying a house together, and it had wraparound counter all the way around the kitchen, and then it had an island in the middle too that was all just countertop. Man, you talk about so much nice working space in the kitchen to just do whatever you needed to do. I felt like I was almost in a professional kitchen. I do miss that house. That was a nice house. One more there. Tea. Yeah. Get out of there. All right, that's that color done. But yeah, I'm looking forward to making my own hot sauces. Oh, I bet it tastes amazing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't think I have any of those. I know I don't have any of those. I got some check marks, a few of them. I really don't even need to dump any out. Maybe I do. Come on. I think I've only got like 3 check marks there, and it won't let me pull them out of the Harbor Freight container. Maybe time to refresh my wax. All right, it's got that color done. I wish I could, Jennifer. I really wish I could start a garden here, but it's kind of impossible in an apartment complex because there's just nowhere to do it. The only open spaces we have in the complex that are like open areas are the dog walking areas. So I can't put a garden out in those. Uh, the little space in the back of the apartment, back behind my apartment here, it doesn't really get any sun, so that would be a bad place to put a garden. Plus, it like floods there, and that's right where all the main sewer drain line is for the whole building here is back there in the back, and it runs into the main sewer line that goes to the main sewer runs right across my back. I'm not going to say even yard. It's just a little walkway back there. Um, I really wish I could start a garden though. In Grand Forks, they had a guy owned a lot out on the west edge of town on that road that's out there. He owned his little lot off the side of the road. I don't know, probably a couple acres. And he was renting out garden plots in there. Like he tilled it up and everything. And you would rent, a so many foot by so many foot section of the tilled land. So you could have your own garden without, if you didn't have a place to do it at home. That was a really cool idea. I think more places ought to do that. You move to desert scrubland. Yeah, you're actually going to have to build a garden space, aren't you? I mean, you're gonna have to like get some like landscape timbers and build like an elevated box garden or something, aren't you? Because I mean, the desert isn't really conducive to growing vegetables in. Yeah, that's the only place I've ever seen that was up there. And I'm like, if I could have a piece of property out here, like on the edge of town, and just, or maybe even in town, find a piece of undeveloped property in town and buy it, and then just, till the soil up right there. And if I have to add any kind of stuff that would make it more, you know, more fertilized or whatever, and till that into it, and then just rent out little plots in there for people. I think that would be cool. I just would have to come up with a way to buy property. My credit ain't the best. I was talking to the maintenance man of one of the apartment complexes that I spray, and him and I were discussing, you know, real estate. And he said, you can get into real estate real easy. He said, you don't have to have good credit. He says, just find a house you want in a reasonable price, go to a hard money lender and buy that property or buy that house and then flip it, give him back his loan, and then just keep doing that. And you'll end up making pretty good profit. Oh, really, Jennifer? I didn't know that. I was watching a gardening guy on YouTube not long ago, and he was talking about he had built he built like a thing that was made with like railroad ties in like a big rectangle, and he built like three railroad ties tall, and then he filled in the bottom of it. He filled in with like a bunch of stuff like sticks and weeds and whatever, not weeds, but sticks and other stuff at the bottom. And then he just said he wouldn't have to use as much, gardening soil. And then he went and bought a bunch of bags of gardening soil and just dumped them in there. And he had his own little garden elevated. But I could see where you're talking about is, dig a a pit and then fill that with like potting soil or gardening soil. But see, even if I did that out here, if I got permission from the apartment management to allow me to do something like that where I could build that, I wouldn't have anything on these plants left. Everybody would know it's out there, and they'd be going out there at night picking my tomatoes. And yeah, I'm interested to see how that turns out. I think I found the most common color for this area. I'm just growing my peppers indoors. I've got a grow light, and I can get a humidifier or something of that sort to keep it at the right humidity levels. Yeah, cats will be using it. I did go to like, I went to like, wasn't PetSmart, it was the other Pet Supplies Plus place here. And I bought one of those little containers of grow yourself catnip, and it didn't make it. Like it was like on its last leg when I brought it home. And I did get one after all the stuff that was in there died off. I got one more sprout, and it was getting two little leaves on it, and then that just died off too. So I would love to grow a bunch of catnip because when I was up in North Dakota, I was dating this lady up there. She had a cat just like Hank, only hers was a little more rotund, and the cat loved regular catnip, like the store bought dried stuff. But we'd gone over to a friend's house, and the friend had catnip growing all along her fence line. And so she went out and she picked us a few, fresh buds right off the plant and put them in a Ziploc bag for us. And I took them home and I gave one to that cat. And I had never seen that cat. Now, that cat was 13 years old at that point, and it barely got up and walked around on its own half the time because it just was too lazy and old. And gave that cat one of them fresh buds, and that cat was bouncing all over the room. I was like, I want to see what Hank would do with it. You saw the pale orange cat again? Trying to remember. We've got one out here. It's looks like Hank, but has no white on it. It's just all orange. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. The one you're talking about, the unfixed tomcat. I think when I get done the live tonight, I will probably be going straight to bed because I have been up all night. I did not go to bed last night. Paul came and stayed. He came down, I think, Tuesday, Tuesday or Wednesday, and he stayed until this morning. And uh, Friday night, a guy came up from Florida that uh, him and Paul are friends. He's a Marine, a retired Marine, and he does like black car riding. Like he takes like VIPs. They pay him like thousands of dollars a weekend to be their private driver, and he's got three Navigators, three Lincoln Navigators, black tinted windows, and so all these like ultra rich people have him pick him up at the private jet. I mean, he drives right out onto the tarmac and picks them up right at the side of the plane and takes them wherever they want to go all weekend. And he's making a couple $1,000 being their personal driver for a couple of nights. All right, Don Marie, you have a great night. So yeah, Paul was like, "Is it okay if he comes?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so I had his name is David as well. So I had two people for company here, and that was really cool. He was a really nice guy, funny as hell. And of course, you had a squid and a jarhead both in the same room together, telling jokes at each other. So I will be making a doctor's appointment very, very soon to get myself on Adderall. And Paul and I were talking about taking Arya to get fixed, and he'd even pay for it this week. But, with the game in town and all, Paul was getting busy. So, and it's like, I would almost have to plan that in advance and make sure I'm taking the day off to do it, because, or not the day off, but, let the boss know I'm going to be coming in late in the morning, because I'd have to go drop her off in the morning and probably pick her up the next day again. So I'd actually have to build my schedule for that in advance. I'm not really super tired, but I know that if I stay up, because I did stay up all night last night and all day yesterday. I got up, I guess around 9 o'clock Saturday morning, and then I stayed up all night last night and all day today. And I know that if I wait until 2 o'clock in the morning when I finally actually feel tired to lay down, I will not get up in time to go to work. And in fact, I may very well not even go in and lay down in the bed, so that way I'm not in such a deep sleep that I won't hear an alarm. If I fall asleep out here in my chair, I won't go into a super deep sleep, and I'll still be able to hear my alarm in the morning. So that's what I might do. I might sit here and play the game until I pass out, and then just sleep in the chair tonight. I did it one day last week, and I actually felt amazing when I woke up. There's something going on out here, man. There's sirens going by out there all over the place. Probably another shooting in the projects right down the street. Ooh. So when I finish this section, I wonder, because I already have this cut around where Hank's fur is at, like this, like the silhouette of Hank. I have that already cut. I wonder if I should just peel off the little sections there and just do the Hank part, and then come back in the end and fill in the background. Now Tuscaloosa has at least one shooting a night, it seems like, anymore. Tuscaloosa is getting really bad about that. And the bad part is it's starting to happen more and more in places where it normally wouldn't have happened before. It's like the epidemic is spreading. All right. Need to change my coil out. Where'd my little trash can go? It was right here. Jeez, really? I need to get me a can. I don't know where we get it from at work. We got this stuff at work. It comes in a can that looks like the old hair mousse cans from back in the 80s and 90s. It's got the same kind of, spout on the top, little thing like hair mousse used to be. Maybe it still is. I don't know. I haven't used mousse in my hair since high school. But and it's called instant soap and water. And you turn it upside down and put it in your hand, and it gives you that little dollop of foam like what hair mousse looked like. And then you just wash your hands, and the foam goes away, and it just washes your hands. And then you just have to take a towel and wipe them off on a towel. It is the coolest stuff, and I would love to keep some here at my house. I need to figure out where I can buy it. Oh, that's my vape. My vape tank. Need to change my coil out. To prime the coil. And then drip a couple of drops in there, like so, like so, like that. And then you put the lid back, or the glass back on, and put the lid back on. Screw it back on there. My little juice canister here is dripping juice out the side around the rim here somewhere. Because it drips some here. Come on, I know I can get at least one more tank full out of this bottle. There we go. Done. You're working with colored pencils. I bought Amber a bunch of colored pencils She's got them all. I bought her the ones at Michael's and Hobby Lobby that come in the big sets. I can't remember the name of them. I just know they were expensive colored pencils. She never answered me back. Crayolas. I've got the ultimate crayon collection that comes on that like big base with all the you put them all in the little slots and everything. It's got like 100 and some crayons in the set. I used to when I worked at up in Grand Forks, I worked in a call center for a while, and used to sit there all day long coloring while I was at work. Everybody did. Everybody was coloring or doing some kind of arts and crafts at their desk within reason. I mean, if I'd have known about diamond painting then, I probably could have taken some to work with me and worked on them while I was sitting there on the phone. Yeah, we had one girl that made like a construction paper chain. She just sat there at her desk and kept making this big long construction paper chain for no good reason whatsoever. She started out wanting to make one just to go around her cubicle. And it just took on a life of its own and became this like just see how long I can make it type thing. It was actually a pretty decent job. If it had paid better, I wouldn't have minded it so much. Yeah, I did. Well, I think you've probably seen my Trump coloring book. I did a lot of coloring in it, um, and I had several other books that I did some coloring in while I was there. And it all started off as like a kind of just a joke. There was a group of us hanging out one day after work, and we all were like, "Let's go to Michael's," because there was a Michael's and a Hobby Lobby there in town. And they were like, "Let's go to Michael's and just look around." So we did, and I ended up coming out of there with crayons and some coloring books. And then I went to Walmart and I found the Trump coloring book, and that was like, "Yeah, I gotta have that." that was when he was still running for his first election. Do I still have it out here? Did I move it? I've got the Bob Ross coloring book, but I probably will never color in that. In fact, there's like 2 or 3 editions of the Bob Ross coloring book, and I've got all of them, but I probably will never color it. Yeah, I must have moved the trunk coloring book into the bedroom, or it's down there on the bookshelf that I can't get to in the corner over here because it's kind of locked back in the corner. Yeah, it's a really cool little. It's Trump in all kinds of different situations, like he's standing along the highway there in near Roswell, the extraterrestrial highway, and he's standing beside the extraterrestrial highway road sign, and a UFO has landed there, and he's shaking hands with an alien. You know, there's kind of pictures kind of like that. A picture of him and Putin playing, or no, a picture of him and Kim Jong Un or Kim Jong, whatever his name is, North Korean leader, playing Battleship. I'm not the world's best colorer. Well, see, I don't want to color in the Bob Ross ones because they're more collectible than anything, you know. I mean, I might go buy another, just a duplicate copy to color in, but I'll be honest with you, whoever did the outlining for it just didn't do that great of a job of putting any kind of detail into it. Yeah. Oh, pull it out real quick. Yeah, see, it's got the Bob Ross coloring book. But like the pictures, like, you know, they kind of look like that. But some of them are just, just don't have enough detail in the. But every one of them is based off of a Bob Ross painting. Oh, I forgot Amber did color one. Yeah, there's like 2 different ones. There's that one, and then they got the book number 2, I think. That's around here somewhere too. Ooh. I'm going to get this color done. I'm hoping to get this section done. That'd be kind of nice. I mean, I can go over it with a. with a rolling pin and make sure everything is seated down really good. Ugh. So I've just got to get this month done at my current position, and then I move over into renewals starting in December. And the boss already has a brand new truck for me. It's only got 50 miles on it. And that was just the miles put on it to deliver it. It's just sitting there in the garage at work waiting for me to use it when it's time. Yeah, really nice. He was showing it to me. He's like, have you seen your truck yet? He called me one day when I was out in the field. He's like, have you seen your truck yet? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in my truck. He's like, no, your new one. I was like, I didn't know I had a new one. He's like, well, yeah, you can't have the spray rig and stuff in the back to do renewals. He said, you don't need that. And I'm like, oh. He said, yes, there's a brand new one sitting in the garage at work, and that's going to be yours when you switch over to renewal. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll take it. So I got to start cleaning out the one I'm in now. I mean, really, there's not much to clean out. I just got to. I picked up some rocks out of people's yards and everything else where they put like the decorative river rock around the things in the yard. And I found some like really interesting that looks like they got some agate in them. And they got some really interesting ones. And I was like, I picked those up, put them in my pocket. The boss thinks I'm weird because there was another guy. And what this guy was doing, I got no clue, but they hired this new guy. And when he quit, that man had probably about 200 pounds of rocks in that truck. Like, we have cones in the back of our truck that we're supposed to go put out beside the truck when we park on the side of the road and stuff, or park on the side of the street. And he had them stashed inside the cones in the back of the truck. Like, all in the floorboards, nothing but big rocks, like just big random rocks. They weren't even special, like tumbling rocks or anything. And they had to clean all those out. So then the boss come out one day to talk to him, and I was getting in my truck, and he saw some rocks along the side of my seat. He was like, "Not you too?" And I'm like, "Dude, I only pick up like, ornamental rocks that I can polish." And he's like, "Oh." And then I had to pull out my little piece of jasper that I carry around with me everywhere I go, that I tumbled, and show him that's what I'm picking him up for. And he's like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Yeah, I'm not just picking up a bunch of random. It's not like I'm trying to pave my own driveway with rocks I pick up out of people's houses." So I'm selective with the rocks I pick up. It's only usually one or two here and there, and that's it. Oh, 1 hour and 20 minutes we're at already. That did not sound good. I hope that's fireworks. Alrighty. Well, I hope that sound was fireworks, because that didn't sound good. There's like 8 of y'all, and only one of y'all has been talking. Where's everybody at? Don't be shy. We don't bite much around here. And I do miss the old days here when this chat was like nonstop. And see, that's the way when I started going live, I'm not a person that has a lot to talk about. I feel like I'm rambling and rambling if I do. Um, so when I started going live, I used the chat to basically keep the conversation going, because there was always people talking. And that model doesn't work anymore, because I haven't been hitting the numbers I was hitting. I know for a fact now that no matter what goes down in life, unless I plan on just giving up YouTube completely, do not ever take a year away from YouTube, because it's almost impossible to recover your channel back the way it was. You're almost in a way better off starting over. And during that year that I took off, or most of a year, man, so many new diamond painting channels hit YouTube at once, and it's like I don't even know who half of those people are. One time we had a diamond painting community on YouTube where everybody knew who everybody else was. There weren't any, like, if there were any unknown channels, it's because they were just brand new. But in that year, it just like took off, and there's all of a sudden a bunch of these channels that I had never seen. And it's kind of odd when I go into the Christmas premieres and I see all of these names. I'm like, well, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And it almost feels in a way to me as if the diamond painting community has splintered into cliques. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but I think that's what's happened. I mean, in a way, it kind of was before, when it was like less people, but you had your heavy hitters that were all kind of friends with one another. It was like Jeremy and Mrs. Coffee and Rachel Ray and Wolfpack. And I know I'm leaving somebody out there. Yeah, we had Sherry was part of it, and Eskies. Has anybody even heard anything from Eskies in forever? All I know is she was like always live at some point in time. All right, the lack of sleep is hitting me now. Whew. Maybe I need to take a little kratom. Hank, what you doing, buddy? Come here, Hank. Hey. Yes. Don't tell me no. Come here. He's just laying in the floor. He is so weird. I have to tell him all the time, stop being weird. He will go over to the door and just stick his nose. He'll just sit there and stick his nose in the little crack of the door on the knob side and just sit there like that with his nose stuck in that crack. And he looks so dumb doing it. He just sits there. Yeah, it is sad, Susan, because it was like one big community where like everybody knew everybody else. It's like every channel had the same bunch of subscribers except for like Rachel Ray and Mrs. Coffee. They just like were blowing everybody out of the water. That they had subs that only subbed to them, and didn't sub to anybody else. But otherwise, it was just like it was just one big community, and we all knew each other, and we all kind of, for the most part, got along. There was always a little bit of drama, which I never understood why there's so much drama in a crafting community. It makes no sense to me. I mean, are people that miserable in their own lives that they have to have some kind of drama to make themselves feel better? I don't understand. I don't even know which ones the drama channels are, so and I'm not going to ask for a list or anything either. But I don't. But see, then again, and I'm guilty here. Maybe that's another reason why I don't get as many people coming to my lives anymore, because when I started my channel, the way I built it, and I don't know if it's the way, I kind of in a way always felt like Mrs. Coffee was talking to me when she said, I built my channel organically. I didn't ride any coattails. Well, I didn't really ride any coattails either. But what I did was I hung out in all of the people that were more popular. I just hung out in their lives. And that was back in the day when you could click on somebody's name in the chat and go to their profile in a separate window, so you could stay in the live and go check out somebody else's profile in a separate tab, and just by clicking their name in chat. And you can't do that anymore unless you're a moderator. And that's how I got most of my subs to begin with, was just hanging out in Jeremy's lives and hanging out in Mrs. Coffee's lives and hanging out in Wolfpack's lives and just talking to people in chat. And they would see my name, Diamond Paint with Diamond Dave. Oh, he must have a channel. Let me go check it out. And they would subscribe to me too. I didn't sit there and advertise my channel in the chat. I just talked to everybody and built my subs up that way. So I guess you can say I did it organically. I didn't coattail off anybody, but it's really easy to build a following that way when you're all hanging out in the same chats. But that's one thing I don't do as much of anymore, is I don't sit on YouTube like I used to and just follow the crowd from one live to the next one to the next one to the next one. I think about the time we moved down here, and maybe even, well, no, because we were still doing it up in North Dakota when Pam was there with us. When Amber and I and Pam were up there, when we moved into the new apartment upstairs, we were still hanging out in everybody's lives. We kept that on the TV most of the time while we were diamond painting or building a model or whatever. I think it's after we moved down here, we just kind of stopped living on YouTube. Welcome back, Jennifer. Yeah. I mean, I'm always giving a shout out. And I know Mrs. Coffee used to always do it near the end of hers. She would say, if you're a creator and you put out content for people, put emojis in the chat. And, she had no problem doing that for people. She just didn't want you coming into her chat and saying, hey, come check out my channel. I just uploaded a video of this. Which, that's just common courtesy. I wouldn't do that anyway. Yeah, back then there was such a small handful of channels that went live that Pippa had actually put together like a spreadsheet of everybody's lives. Like, Mrs. Coffee was Friday nights from 9 to, what was it? Or was it 9 to midnight, I think? And I was Sundays, 8 p.m. to 11. And we all, and she put it out, and it was out there and for everybody to see, and everybody would know, oh, these are the ones that go live all the time. But now you've had so many channels join YouTube, and everybody wants to go live, and there's not enough hours in the week for people to go live without being live at the same time as somebody else. No one does? Or they all moved to Twitch. That's what's happened. I am. I think I am gonna start a Twitch for my gaming. I think because I can do it straight off of the Xbox uh, without any problem. I don't need to run it through my computer or anything like that. You can do it straight off the Xbox. You can even plug a webcam into the back of the Xbox, and like I'm the only one live right now. See now what it used to be Crashly went live for 2 hours before me, and then I went live as soon as she signed off, and then Anxiety Art Adventures would kind of cut into mine um, a little bit, like she'd overlap me a little bit. Maybe we ought to do another. I mean, I know we're doing the Christmas premieres this year, like we did past 4 years, and but do anybody remember the DP-a-thons where everybody for an entire weekend would just do an hour or 2 hour live, and then we would all just go, okay, everybody go to this person's channel, they're about to go live now too, and it would just be like that all weekend. You just had that was so much fun. Shay is keeping the spreadsheet now. I don't know that I've ever actually. I've watched her Christmas premieres, but I've never actually like spoken with her. And that there's like a little clique of them there. They're all kind of the newer channels that started while I was on my hiatus, and they all kind of support each other's. I've noticed. Maybe I just need to get out there and start hanging out in more places and looking around and meeting people. I don't know. There's not enough hours in the day for me to be able to do everything I need to do or everything that I want to do. Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't understand why the drama. I don't understand. I mean, I get everybody's being competitive, but what are they being competitive over? Because if it's like Mrs. Coffee used to say it, she says, if all of you look at your subscriber lists, you're going to see the exact same names on everybody's subscriber list. It's not like you're fighting over subscribers. Yeah, everybody supported. Yeah, that was on the DP-a-thons. Yeah, sometimes we did a charity and sometimes we didn't. Um, just depended. But that also gave, and it worked out really well because when Pippa did it the first time, I think she organized. No, was it Marissa or Pippa? I can't remember which. But when they organized it the first time, they only wanted channels that had like less than 1,000 subs. New channels that hadn't really got their name out yet, or were just on the verge of getting their name out there to where it was more well known, and that way it got their channel out in front of more eyes, of people that may not have seen them before. But it also helped you get to know all of the new creators that just came into the community, because you know you were hanging out in the chats when you weren't live. So it was a great way that brought the community together. Hi, Hank. Hi. Hi. Hi, my Hank. Hey, my buddy. It's not time yet. No, it's not time yet. I mean, I know you think it is because the clocks got set back and your tummy clock didn't. But they're all saying, Hi, Hank. They're saying, Hi, Hank. He's just sitting up here letting me just scritch him on top of the head. And boop, I boop the Hank. Uh, you're right in my way, buddy. You know that, right? Hmm? Mhm. You are right in the way. He tries to be Chantel. And believe me, he knows he is. He knows that people cannot resist to scritch that little head. Yeah. Back then, there wasn't as many creators or diamond painters. Totally different now. Well, I did see a short video from Esky. She said she would try to post. She looks well. Awesome. That's good. Yeah, I think it was like she just fell off the face of the earth there for a while, and nobody knows what happened to Ella. She just disappeared completely. And there was a few others too. It was like GG Diamond Painter and Redneck Beauty. She used to be Redneck Beauty, and then she turned to Patriotic Beauty. But she kind of had a falling out with Mrs. Coffee, and then she just disappeared off YouTube. Well, she had a falling out with Diamond Art Club and Mrs. Coffee at the same time. Jeremy, I know Jeremy still is active from time to time. Mrs. Coffee went to Twitch. Rachel does Twitch. Wolfpack still does her, what is it, Thursday nights. Hank, you're in the way, buddy. You're in the way. Where's your sister at? Arya, there she is. Come here, baby. Come here. She's like, nope, I am comfortable laying right here in this spot and I ain't moving. I'm starting to go cross-eyed over here, y'all. Oh, wait. I took the glue out of it. Oops. Oh. Wait a minute. I have got, is it up here on the desk? Is it in here? Oh, no, not in there. Probably fell on the floor because I have cats. Oh. Lordy, lordy, lordy. I have got some Mary Mud, and I wanted to try it, but now I can't figure out where it went because I have cats. Oh, there it is. Mary Mud is made by Mary Making and More on Etsy. There's their little thing, so you can scan the QR code. And if you use the code TMAL10, you get 10% off your order. It is it's diamond painting wax and it's scented. It's actually glue dots, I think, but it's some kind of a putty anyway. It's called Mary Mud. And this is a little sample pack that I got from an order for, I think it was a Firefly order. No, it wasn't a Firefly order. Can't remember what, but yeah, it's just a little sample. This is grape soda, and it smells so good. Like it is like really strong scented too. It's not, it's like as soon as you open the pack, you smell grape soda. But I don't know how to use Mary Mud. I don't know if you use it like regular diamond painting wax, or do you have to rip it off like blue tack and, oh no. Okay, I guess you do use it like regular diamond painting wax. Okay. Cool. It kind of reminds me of like blue tack or museum putty. Hello, Lizzie. Yeah, Jennifer. It's instead of wax, it's just another type of diamond painting wax, putty, mud, whatever. It's kind of almost got the consistency of the museum putty or blue tack, but it's kind of like it feels like a cross between like blue tack and regular diamond painting wax, or stuff like Beth's Not Your Mama's mud. It's like a mix between that and blue tack. So I'm gonna try it and see how it works. I know it smells, man. It definitely has scent. I almost have this section done. I'm not going to finish it tonight, though. I don't think. I've got about 10 minutes of live left. Oh, this stuff works good. Okay. Oh. And it's really good if you're heavy-handed like I am. Okay. Uh, okay, maybe not. It's not. Either my canvas isn't that sticky, or the mud is too sticky, because the drill is not staying where I put it. It just keeps coming back off with the pen. Get. It's very grippy. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Well, it ain't working for me. It's just that I can pick the drill up with it, but as soon as I try to put the drill on the canvas and I press down on it, it just presses the drill deeper into the mud, and the mud just holds on to it. See? But that could also be because this canvas has been uncovered here in this spot for what, a month now, and the cats have been sitting on it, and I've gotten debris down in it, so that the canvas itself may just not be sticky enough to pull the drill off of the pen. Yeah, drills that I just put down of the last color are coming off when I rub over them. This is definitely going to have to be sealed. Or you only use it in your multi-placers. Like I said, if I was using it on a fresh canvas that's not been uncovered and had all kinds of little bits of debris and stuff falling down into the uncovered spaces, it probably would work really well, and I'll keep trying it with when I uncover a fresh area and see what happens. But this just may have lost its sticky because I can run my finger over it, and this is an Evermoment, so it's not going to have popping drills. Um, I can run my finger over it, and the ones that I just placed down from the previous color before this one, where one of them just came right off, like it's not even sticking. How's the Canadian life treating you up there, Lizzie? You ready for winter? It's probably already winter up there, isn't it? Because I know when I lived in Grand Forks, we'd already have snow by now. Man, my neighbors are partying over here next door. Right over here on the other side of the wall, man, they're making all kinds of noise. They got some music. I can hear the thump, the thump, the thump, the thump music noise. Hi, Hank. Hi. Yeah, it got cold down here in Alabama too. This past week we had 2 nights where it dropped down to freezing. We had freeze warnings in Alabama in October. Well, wasn't October. It was, well, I guess it was. It was the last couple nights of October. Halloween night was the first night of it. Yeah, but by now in Grand Forks, they'd already had their first snowfall of the year, and the ground was covered, and you wouldn't see grass again until April. In fact, the last winter that we were up there, uh, we got our first freeze warning in September, and by the last week of September, the National Weather Service was sending out their notification that this will be the final freeze warning notification for this season. We'll resume the product again in April or May, and basically it's the National Weather Service's way of saying, it's going to be cold. We know it's going to be cold. You don't need us to tell you that it's going to be cold every day until May. And usually it was also because um, the beet harvest. And once the beet harvest was over with, there weren't really any more crops being grown. So they didn't really need the freeze warnings anymore. It was mostly for the farmers. Whew. Yeah, Hank, you looking at yourself here, huh? Are you looking at yourself, buddy? Are you sitting on your own head? He's sitting here purring because he wants something, and I know what he wants, but he's an hour early because we set the clocks back an hour last night. So right now is the time that he normally would be getting it. Oh, this is a pain. Come on, get in there. In your home. You know, I was watching a video about that the other day about the time change, and so I was like, you know, you don't actually gain an hour of sleep. It's still going to be 24 hours in a day. It's like, but these people don't understand is people now think they don't understand how it works. Like, and so they think that you're gaining another hour of sleep every night until you change the clocks again. And that's not the way it works. You only gain an hour of sleep the one night that you set the clock back an hour. And the only reason why you get that is because the clock's set back at like 2 a.m. And so you're already in bed asleep by that point. So you basically sleep through the 1 o'clock to 2 a.m., 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. hour twice that one night. And then everybody's talking about some kind of, I guess now they've come up, there's some kind of a depression or something that's linked to daylight savings time. I did not know that was a thing. So, I mean, I didn't even know that existed until I was reading the comments on a video about it the other day. And I'm like, seriously? There's actually like a form of depression that sets in because of daylight savings time. I guess it has to do with the fact that it gets darker earlier in the day now. And by December 21st, it'll be dark at like 4:30 in the afternoon. Which is kind of interesting because now at work they want us to set our first appointment for 7:30 a.m. and we should be either just starting or already be working on our final stop at 4:30 in the afternoon. And I'm like, so if we're just starting at 4:30 in the afternoon, are y'all going to give us like headlamps that we can use because it's going to be dark at 4:30? That's going to feel really weird that early in the day and coming home from work and it's dark when I get home. It's going to throw me all off as far as it's more my, I don't know, I won't say equilibrium, but it's like it just throws everything off. You're like, it's not supposed to be this dark this early, and it doesn't feel like 4:30. It feels like 8:30. Guess what, Hank? We didn't finish the section. We got most of it, but it has been 2 hours and 5 minutes, so it's time for me to get off of here. So say goodbye to everybody. Hank said, "Bye, bye. See y'all later." Be like, dude, what are you doing? What is that? What is that? Is that a piece of dirt? Hank. That better not be what I think it is. Son of a... Yep. Really? Really? You got the itchy bugs again? Where'd you get them itchy bugs from? That means I gotta lock y'all in the bathroom again. And I gotta pick up a couple more cans of that stuff from work. And I gotta come home and I gotta treat the house again. And leave y'all locked in the bathroom for 4 hours. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Constant battle. I'm telling you. Yeah, I think that is. Yeah, it's moving. It's not. Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You're a mess, Hank. Mm. Whoa, we're going to knock my monster over. All right, y'all. I will see you all next Sunday. And keep a watch on my community tab because I might one day this week sit down and start a Twitch channel for my gaming. I might. So y'all can come check that out. Watch me suck at MLB The Show and Call of Duty. Because I imagine my stream would grow pretty quick because most of the people in the Rebels clan are streamers. And so I'm pretty sure that if I put my stream up there and told them, hey, I'm brand new, I'm guarantee all of them would raid me at some point. So, yeah. Itchy bugs, Susan? Fleas. That's what I refer to them as, kind of like call them itchy bugs. We had them really, really, really bad during the summer. Somehow or another, they got in the house, probably from me going to work. And I had several flea jobs to do this summer. And more than likely, I brought some home with me. It's just the way it works. It's the downside of being an exterminator. You've always got the chance to bring the bed bugs and the roaches and the fleas home with you. I mean, I wear Under Armour leggings under my uniform pants so that when I get home, if I've been working on a bed bug job or a flea job or a roach job or German roach job, then I strip out. I strip out on the front step on the door, in front of the door, so that I'm not bringing them in on my clothes. Yeah, they're just fleas. That's what I call fleas, itchy bugs. Like when I'm talking to Hank. I mean, it's more like a baby talk thing. Got the itchy bugs. Yeah. Got them itchy bugs. And you gotta get rid of them. Yeah. You know what that means too, huh? It means another bath in flea shampoo. You ready for another bath? And you are not a board certified surgeon. So we're not going to be doing surgery this time. You got it? All right, y'all. I got to hop off of here. Hope y'all have a great rest of the week. And we'll reconvene here next Sunday evening at 8 p.m. like normal. Unless something drastic happens, which probably won't. Yeah, I've dealt with them this summer pretty bad. We had them real bad here in the house. And I had to treat them to get rid of them. That's the other benefit of being an exterminator is when you get them, you have the means to get rid of them. But the problem is you get them because you bring them home with you from the job. So, yep, I'll be here next Sunday night, y'all. So until then, rock on, y'all, and roll tide.